Hello, friends, and welcome back to VHS. I'm your host, Jesse, and today we continue our celebration of 1985, the greatest movie yeah. Before we get started, please take a quick moment and click that like button for the video and subscribe to our channel if you want to see more of what we do, if you want to support what we do. We are marching toward YouTube partnership, and you can help us get there. For now, May and June 1985 have finally arrived. So let's see what's in store. May 22nd, 1985, Brewster's Millions. We're kicking off this episode with one of my all-time favorite comedies, Richard Pryor and John Candy in Brewster's Millions. I am so excited to talk about this, you guys. Honestly, May 1985 is just a big comedy month. This is going to be crazy. In the mid-1980s, you got to understand, we had so much comedy talent around the country. Think about it like this. SCTV was happening in Chicago. That gets you Eugene Levy, your John Candy, those kind of guys. SNL is coming out of New York. Chevy Chase, Bill Murray, all those guys, right? And then the Los Angeles stand-up scene has been exploding since the 1970s into the 80s, and Richard Pryor is like the king of that. And that's how we get so many great comedies like this and the next one coming up. Just hold on a second. We've got some questions to ask. Question number one. What is this movie? The premise behind Brewster's Millions is a classic, and it's been reused in other TV and movies, so you may have seen this before, but just don't take that out on Brewster's Millions, okay? Richard Pryor in this one discovers that he is the last living descendant of this dead white millionaire who leaves Pryor with a challenge. If Richard Pryor can spend $30 million in 30 days with nothing to show for it, no cars, no property, no clothes, it has to be gone, he'll inherit $300 million. Spend 30 in 30, nothing to show for it, you get 300. We on board? And here's the big catch. If you thought that was tough, here's the big catch. He can't tell anyone in his life about the deal. Question number two. Is it worth a watch today? Oh, brother, yes. In fact, I'm kind of hoping you never saw this one. So now you can go watch it for the first time. I'm so jealous of you. This movie is pure 80s comedy joy. Pryor is on the top of his game. He's super physical, fast on his feet. It's very funny. And watching him try to blow $30 million while everyone around him thinks he's losing his mind. You guys, I don't know if you're going to find a tighter comedy premise than that. May 31st, 1985, Fletch. Hey, we reached Memorial Day 1985, and here comes Fletch. Want to be clear about something. This is not a segment about Chevy Chase and the awful old man he will one day become. This is about Fletch. Fletch still great. Question number one. What is this movie? Chevy Chase plays Fletch, an undercover reporter who receives a wild offer. A millionaire... What is with these movies in the 80s? It's always millionaires offering regular people wild shit to do. So in this one, a millionaire hires Fletch to kill him. Yeah, kill the millionaire that's doing the hiring. Kill that guy in a few days' time. Come back and kill me in a few days. Well, Fletch immediately knows something is up. It's a little bit of a weird request, and then the movie just kind of spirals into hilarity from there. That's all you need to know. Question number two. Is it worth a watch today? Please believe me when I tell you that Fletch is still very, very funny. If you've never seen it, I've never said seen it in my life. If you've never seen Fletch before, you're in for a treat. It's got some heart, it's got smart-ass humor, clever humor, physical humor, and a reference to the Sam Peckinpah film Bring Me the Head of Alfredo Garcia that I have never recovered from. I'm still trying to wrap my mind around it now. Bond Watch 85. Breaking in here with a quick check on the James Bond situation, and I see, yes, we have an entry in 1985. It is the delightfully wacky A View to a Kill. I cannot recommend this one enough, you guys. The Bond franchise at this point is fully off the rails. Grace Jones is gorgeous and absurd at the same time. Christopher Walken is basically playing a younger version of his same character from Batman Returns. How? Is that on purpose? And they fight it out at the end on top of the Golden Gate Bridge. I mean, how bombastic can you get? June 7th, 1985, The Goonies. Now we're talking iconic 80s movies, right? You either grew up with this movie and you loved it, or you didn't and you were annoyed by the people who did because they loved it. Ke Huy Quan and a bunch of white actors who never worked again for some reason star in The Goonies. Question number 1. What is this movie? If you missed The Goonies, it's basically a big kid fantasy. The idea that you could find a treasure map in your attic and that it would lead you to unimaginable treasure and that you, a kid, had the power to find it and change your life. But you don't. I don't mean you personally. You do. Other people don't. You do. You can do it. You do. Question number 2. Is it worth a watch today? Confession time. I missed this one growing up. I'm not sure how. Maybe I was scared of it or something, but I didn't actually see The Goonies until my late teens, and by then it was a little too late for me to love the movie. But I know so many people who did grow up with it, and it sparks incredible joy for them. So the moral of the story here about The Goonies is show it to your kids when they're young, and they still have a sense of wonder. If you do that, you got a good chance of this one sticking with them for life. June 21st, 1985. Cocoon. That's a weird word to say. Cocoon. Cocoon. I had to say it a bunch of times while recording this. It's starting to really get to me. Cocoon. Cocoon? Question number 1. What is this movie? Cocoon is a super sweet movie, you guys, and I'm taking on all doubters on this one. I'm not fooling around. This is a wonderful story about a group of elderly friends who encounter basically alien cocoons in their YMCA swimming pool. And as they swim among them, they start feeling younger and stronger day after day. Now, I won't spoil any more of the fun if you haven't seen it. Just know Steve Guttenberg is heavily involved. You gotta watch out for the Goot. Question number 2. Is it the same price as a watch today? That's not what the question means. Absolutely, Cocoon is worth a watch now. It was worth a watch then. And you know how I know it's still worth a watch? Man, I was a kid when I saw it, and it's about old people, and I loved it. The alien effects are even pretty cool. They're basically the Sylvania light bulb people from that commercial. You remember that commercial? From the same year? Someone had to get sued. Best of the rest. It's getting so good here in 1985, we have to knock out some quick honorable mentions. And I do recommend you check out all of these. First up, Pritzi's Honor. You can get your Nicholson fix here. Daryl. Remember Daryl? Supercomputer kid. Cute. Return to Oz. So dark. So good, you guys. Plus Baby Fairuza Balk, basically. And Pale Rider because Clint Eastwood is happening in the middle of all of this. I don't know how else to explain. 1985 is a crazy year, you guys. On top of that, you get St. Elmo's Fire. It's not my favorite Brat Pack movie, but it's the second major Brat Pack release this year, at least. And Breakfast Club only came out like 4 months ago. And there you have it. Part 3 of VHS's groundbreaking new series, 1985, The Greatest Movie Year. We are all up in the summer of 1985, guys. And no spoilers, but the next episode is going to feature 1 or maybe 2 of my favorite films of all time. So come on back for that. And until then, we live here, only on VHS. Take 'em home, Craig. Cocoon!
Thanks for watching, everyone. Oh, and please like and subscribe. Check out more of our videos. Leave a comment. Or don't. You do you.